Welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot, Pisces. It's time for your weekly reading. I've shuffled these cards very well. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first part of the reading. So if you feel compelled, please like and subscribe. Here we go. For Pisces universe, what can they expect to be coming up in their life? Any advice would be more than welcome for our Pisces. Whoa. What's coming up? What do they need to be made aware of for our Pisces? Let's see what we have so far. And I don't think we have enough for the first part yet. Put them out in order as they came out of the deck. Need a couple more cards, please, for Pisces universe. There we go. Okay. So Pisces, whatever you've been going through, any hurt, pain, anything like that you've been going through is coming to an end. This is the Ten of Swords. This is the card of the end. Okay, and so that surrounds your entire reading. So that means something else is probably starting. Up here in your highest energy is the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups can be wishes coming true. But I read this card as if you have a lot of love and you're not handing it out. You're protecting it. You're sitting in front of it. You're guarding your cups of love. I think that you will get to let those cups of love go. I think you're at the end of guarding those cups. I think that's coming to an end. I can change my mind as I go along in this reading, but so far that's what I'm feeling from this reading. I also have the Ten of Wands right above the Ten of Swords and next to the Nine of Cups. So this is the end of the burden. The end that you've been carrying. You can drop those wands one by one, or you can drop them all at once. But it's like everything's coming to an end, and I think that's making a new beginning. So the end of carrying a heavy load, the end of pain and suffering, the beginning, I think, of being able to hand out your love. It looks like the burden here was there was a walking away. Somebody turned their back on love and walked away, walked out, so to speak. That might have been you. It might have been someone else walking out on you. So this was the burden that you were carrying. It was probably getting through a breakup, a separation. Now this may be, it doesn't have to be a breakup. It can be a walking away for another reason. It could be that they left this earth. It could be that they had a job in another country or another state. It could be a number of things. But there definitely is a separation from love going on here. So under the Nine of Cups, I have the Hierophant. The Hierophant, this is the card for Taurus. So Taurus might be strong in your chart, might be strong in someone else's chart around this reading. But the thing about the Hierophant is it's about traditional values, traditional morals. It's about security, stability. It's very spiritual. It's about commitment. And it can represent marriage. My goodness. It's a very powerful card. This is right under the Nine of Cups. You've been able to hand out your love, the end of the pain and the suffering. You know, perhaps you were going through a divorce or something here for many of you. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like the end. If you're going through a divorce, the end or separation, the end of that is resolving. It's coming to an end. You not being able to hand out your love is coming to an end. I have the Three of Swords right next to the Ten of Swords and under the Eight of Cups. The Three of Swords is a heartbreak tears. That rain is tears. And those 3 swords, there might have been a third energy involved. And this is right under that 8 of Cups, right next to the 10 of Swords. So the end of this 3 of Swords energy is coming. And this walking away caused a lot of pain. And that pain, that heartbreak you're going to be able to move on. You're getting very close to being able to share your love once again. I have the I have the 6 of Wands here. And the 6 of Wands is right under the Hierophant. This is a card about successes in love. This is about everybody seeing you as a couple with someone else. All those wands coming out up in the background are other people who celebrate your love. I think this is a divorce. I think we're talking about divorce. I think the end of this union here with this soulmate, because it was a soulmate, male or female. You had a happy marriage. You did have a lot of joy. You did have a lot of love, but it looks like it did come to an end. It's right under the 10 of Swords, and it's right next to the 6 of Wands. So I feel like there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of heartache. There's, somebody left the marriage. That's what it feels like to me. Or the commitment. Somebody has left the commitment. And that's the way I'm going to put it, because it doesn't have to be a marriage. But it was definitely a commitment. If this is your reading, this is how I'm reading it. The Fool is right next to the 4 of Wands and under the Broken Heart. I feel like the other party was foolish. I think that they threw caution to the wind, and they decided to, put their head in the clouds and just live life the way they wanted to, whether they were married or not. I'm starting to really feel like there might have been a third party, and that they might have entertained. The Fool always comes to the edge of the cliff. The Fool has their head in the clouds. So they're not looking for the future. They're not looking forward. They're looking up, and they're living in the moment. I feel like the other person here was doing that. And it left you in a lot of pain. And really carrying a heavy burden of this pain for quite some time. I need more cards. This is for Pisces, universe. What else do they need to know for Pisces? What else do they need to know? Pisces. Oh, that one just flew right back inward. I'm going to need a few more cards. I can see that already for Pisces. What can you expect? What can they expect? Okay. What do we have? I think we have them. I'm not sure. I should count, but I don't like to lose my train of thought and start counting the cards, because I really want the cards for Pisces, and they are just exactly what we needed. So I have the 2 of Pentacles next to the 8 of Cups. Pentacles are about commitment, security, stability, groundedness. Looks like you were on a roller coaster ride for some time in this relationship. Look at the ships. I mean, they're bouncing around on the ocean, and this is like a juggling act. This is like a roller coaster ride. You got your highs, you got your lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. I mean, it's all over the place. You are now holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings with one hand, and holding on to the world with the other hand. So you're contemplating, you're looking out there, and you're dreaming about what is your life going to look like now. Is there something new coming along? You know, how is this going to be? How's it going to feel? How's it going to look? And this Two of Wands right next to the World. So look, looky here. You're holding the World, and then the World shows up. So there is a new life cycle coming in for you. And, you know, you're really in this place of wondering what that's going to look like and moving forward. I have the Five of Cups under the Two of Pentacles and next to the Three of Swords. The Five of Cups is all about disappointment in love. It's like, you know, being disillusioned, discouraged. It's a low feeling. But I call this the card of hope because there's two cups behind this figure. Now, in turning around, you can see the hope in love. So what this card is saying is you're disappointed now, but there's still hope and love out there for you. Okay, there's still love waiting for you out there. Even though, and you know, this is right below all the ups and downs, the highs and lows, right next to the Three of Swords, the tears, the heartbreak. Yeah, you're disappointed. I also feel like you kind of let it go for a while. You were protecting your heart. You had your swords up in self-protection and a blindfold on. This tells me that you may have kind of known, you know, what was going on, what was happening, and didn't deal with it for quite some time, for as long as possible, because you didn't want your heart to get hurt. Your heart got hurt anyway. So this is the Two of Swords, Three of Swords. So it's like an ostrich putting its head in the sand, hoping that it'll just all work out, you know, and it doesn't look like it did in this particular reading. So this is, you know, you still, even though you were trying to protect your heart and not really deal with what you kind of knew, I think what was going on is I don't think your partner was in the relationship like you were. And you find yourself alone again, holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings and entering a new life cycle. Anyway, so I have the Four of Cups next to the Two of Swords and under the new life cycle. Well, I feel like whoever this is tries to come back in. And they're trying to say, hey, look, you know, I didn't mean it. Or let's try this again. Let's just not go. If it's a divorce, it's like, let's not go through with the divorce. Let's just try this over again. But, you know, you got so hurt that, and so your arms are still crossed. You're not even looking at that cup. You know what you're looking at is these three cups right in front of you. And you're thinking, no, I think there's somebody better out there for me. You're entering a new life cycle. And, you know, you're getting to this point where that's what you want to do instead of burying your head in the sand anymore. You know, there is a separation, definitely. And I think that now you're ready to move forward. It's like you're done. You're like, this is it. I have the Eight of Wands under the Five of Cups and next to the Fool card. Yeah, they're going to try to communicate with you. This is back and forth too. Texting, phone calls, emails. It could be video chat. Something through the airways. But this is back and forth and quite a bit of communication. And this could have to do, you know, that you have to communicate to get through this separation. Or they're initiating it, because I have the Ace of Swords right next to the Eight of Wands. And the Ace of Swords is about communication, truth and clarity through communication. And I think you start asking the questions, and it's like, so they want to come back into your life, and you're like, well, why this, why that, who, you know, whatever your questions are, and you're getting some clearer results from this communication. This is what you've been avoiding, is really knowing the truth. You suspected, but you didn't really know because you weren't willing to expose your heart, you know, into knowing, because you knew what would happen. So it's all coming out. In this reading, it's all coming out. And then I have the Seven of Pentacles next to the Ace of Swords and under the Four of Cups. So waiting. waiting and waiting. This is what you did. I mean, you had the Two of Swords energy, and you just kept waiting for this relationship to actually blossom. It's like this bush has got buds on it, but it hasn't blossomed. And you spent all this time just waiting for it to feel right, waiting for it to advance, waiting for the commitment to settle in. That's all it was a waiting game. It never did happen. And then separation. And then you find out what's really going on. I think there was a third party, or they were being careless, more than carefree. They were being careless with this relationship. They didn't respect it. And, it's like they could care less. That's how I feel in reading this reading. It's like they could care less the way they acted. It would feel to you as if they cared less about the relationship, and they just wanted to, live, throw caution to the wind and bounce around, act like they're not committed when they were committed. So you kept waiting for things to resolve. They never resolved. And now here you are. You are holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings, and you're waiting for a new life cycle to come in. And you're contemplating, you're wondering, what is it going to look like? Well, I have the card for the Law of Attraction here, the deck, and I'm going to pull a card out. It may or may not go with the reading, but this is a group of entities who call themselves Abraham, who speak through a medium named Esther Hicks. And I'm going to read you, I picked up too many at once. They're so fat. I'm going to read you the card after I cut that is here for you. Pull out a few more. Shuffle these a few times. The Pisces. Oh, that is so weird too, is the only zodiac sign that showed up in this reading was Taurus. That's unusual. We should have more zodiac signs show up than that. But it's the energies that really matter, so it doesn't really matter. Just something I noticed. Okay, this is for Pisces. It's the bottom card under the cut. I'm going to cut thin. Thin to win, right? Okay. As I am segment intending, I am attracting. Okay, so that's what the card's about. And on the back side is what it says, and I'm going to read it to you. The way you feel is your point of attraction. And so, the value of segment intending is that you pause many times during your day to say, this is what I want and expect from this segment of my life experience. And as you set forth those powerful thoughts, you will attract into your experience what you want. Awesome advice, especially for this reading, I think. Your new life cycle. So, this is your reading, Pisces, and I thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.